everyone has seen all 6 episodes of Surviving R. Kelly, which, by the way, includes testimonials and interviews with people who are going to take the stand. It would be impossible to separate out what did I hear during the documentary versus what am I hearing now.
Well, jury selection resumes today in R. Kelly's second trial here in Chicago. And his attorneys have made a request that could really drain the jury pool. The singer's legal team wants to remove any potential jurors that may have seen the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries. Dave Zahner is the founding partner of Zahner Trial Consulting, which conducts juror research exercises. We want to thank you for joining us this morning to talk about what's been such a talked about subject here.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
We appreciate you being here. You know, the Lifetime docuseries garnered some of the highest viewership ratings in the network's history. So how do they expect to find people that haven't seen it?
Well, I mean, it's amazing how much people don't know when you get them in for jury selection. And so even though Lifetime had their highest ratings, it's still a fairly small section of the population. And they're not going to be eliminating people just because they've seen the documentary. What they're going to be saying instead is, can you put aside what you saw and be fair in this trial? And in fact, several jurors yesterday who had seen it said they could and are still in the jury pool.
So a number of potential jurors have already been released for saying that they are unable, though, to be impartial to this case, or even just trying to weed out, can I separate it? Do I have an opinion? Do you think that's going to be a trend, or do you think more people will be able to say, no, I could put the two aside?
It's actually a trend we've seen in high-profile sexual assault or sexual harassment cases ever since the Me Too movement. What you've seen is women especially have seen what has happened to themselves and others, and they've kind of internalized it. And they've admitted to themselves, well, I can't really be fair in a case involving claims of sexual assault or sexual harassment. So that's why the judge is bringing in so many people, because he knows he's going to be losing quite a few people because they say they can't be fair.
Yeah, from a defense standpoint, what's the ideal juror in this case? You brought up women who, usually kind of see themselves in this, but what is the ideal juror?
Yeah, and for the prosecution, it's not only women, it's men who have partners or relatives or friends who have been sexually harassed or victims of sexual assault. But for the defense, they're looking for people who feel that they've been unfairly accused. A big theme of the defense is going to be that this is a frame job, and this is people who are out for money and are looking to try and take advantage of a celebrity. So they're going to be looking for people who will sympathize with that, who maybe have had they or someone close to them been unfairly treated by law enforcement, and they're going to want to get people who are more willing to accept their themes.
How long do you think jury selection will take, and what we're looking at kind of moving forward? What takes place from here?
So they're going to weed out people until they get a panel of 40 people to choose from, and then the judge will do some additional questioning. In federal court, it'll go pretty fast. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a jury by the end of today or at the latest tomorrow.
Wow. And then what happens after that? Do we go right into the full trial, or is there a time period? What are we looking at?
No, they'll go right into opening statements as soon as they have a jury. Like I said, federal court moves very fast. The state court system moves a little slower because the attorneys are allowed to question jurors. In the federal court, it's almost always just the judge who does the questioning. And they like to keep things moving and then move directly into opening statements as soon as they get a jury seated.